Satellite images leaked, and experts couldn't believe their eyes. What China is building right now is so massive, so futuristic, that it forced other nations to urgently reevaluate their own capabilities. This isn't just construction, it's a statement of power. Join us and let's uncover what China is building that just shocked the entire world. Let's go.
Number 11. Meituan Delivery Shenzhen. Order lunch in Shenzhen and your food might arrive via drone within 15 minutes. No driver, no delay. Just a hexacopter landing on your balcony with hot noodles. Meituan, one of China's largest delivery platforms, operates the world's most extensive urban drone delivery network. The system handles thousands of flights daily across multiple cities, navigating between buildings, avoiding obstacles, landing on designated spots with precision. The drones aren't toys. They're industrial-grade machines capable of carrying up to 2.5 kilograms over distances of 15 kilometers. Advanced navigation systems plot optimal routes that account for wind, weather, air traffic, and no-fly zones. The drones communicate with each other to avoid collisions, and with ground stations to coordinate takeoffs and landings. Each unit costs less than maintaining a delivery driver over a year, and they work non-stop. Meituan's system integrates with restaurants and customers through the same app used for traditional delivery. You order food, the system calculates whether drone delivery is faster than ground transport, based on distance, weather, and current demand. If drone wins, your order gets prioritized for aerial fulfillment. The restaurant loads food into a temperature-controlled container, the drone picks it up autonomously and flies directly to your location. No traffic, no parking, no human error. The service started in suburban areas where traffic congestion made traditional delivery slow and expensive. Success there drove expansion into denser urban zones. Now drones operate in cities with millions of residents, handling not just food, but medical supplies, documents, small packages. During COVID lockdowns, drone delivery became critical infrastructure, moving medicine and essentials into quarantine zones without human contact. But drones represent only part of the autonomous delivery ecosystem. On sidewalks and streets, delivery robots handle last-mile logistics in ways drones can't. Companies like Neolix and JD.com deploy fleets of self-driving vehicles that look like miniature vans on wheels. These robots navigate pedestrian traffic, cross streets at intersections, avoid obstacles, and make deliveries to multiple addresses on a single route. The robots vary in size and capability. Smaller units designed for sidewalk use carry packages up to 50 kilograms and travel at walking speed. Larger versions, approved for low-speed roads, handle heavier loads and cover longer distances. All use sensor fusion, combining cameras, LiDAR, radar, and GPS to understand their environment and make navigation decisions in real time. JD.com operates thousands of these robots across campuses, residential communities, and business districts. Their latest models include robotic arms that can retrieve packages from shelves, load them into compartments, and even climb stairs in some cases. Customers receive notifications when robots arrive and unlock compartments using their phones. The entire interaction happens without human delivery staff. In rural areas where drone delivery faces regulatory hurdles and robot delivery isn't practical, autonomous vans handle medium-distance logistics. These larger vehicles operate on public roads at normal speeds, making bulk deliveries to villages and small towns. They're essentially self-driving trucks scaled down for parcel delivery rather than freight hauling. The cost advantages are brutal. Traditional delivery requires paying drivers, maintaining vehicles, managing schedules, and dealing with traffic delays. Autonomous systems eliminate labor costs, operate 24/7, and optimize routes continuously. Number 10. Agent Hospital Tsinghua University. Picture this: a nation of 1.4 billion people facing an existential threat, not from war or disease, but from silence. Empty nurseries, aging cities, hospitals stretched thin. By 2050, China's population drops to 1.3 billion. By 2100, just 633 million. That's half of what exists today, vanishing in less than a century. The one-child policy planted seeds decades ago, and now the harvest arrives bitter and inevitable. Young couples look at skyrocketing costs, unstable jobs, and inadequate pregnancy care, then make a choice that reshapes a nation: no kids. The math turns brutal fast. Fewer workers means fewer taxpayers. Fewer caregivers means abandoned elderly. Fewer doctors means overcrowded hospitals at exactly the moment when millions need medical attention more than ever. Traditional solutions won't work here. You can't train doctors fast enough when your workforce shrinks by millions each year. Building more hospitals doesn't help when there's nobody to staff them.
For years, this problem seemed unsolvable, a demographic time bomb ticking toward catastrophe. Then, China did something unexpected. Instead of fighting the decline with policy reforms or incentives that historically fail, they built a digital doctor that never sleeps, never retires, and learns faster than any human could. In 2025, as the 14th five-year plan wrapped up, researchers at Tsinghua University unveiled the Agent Hospital. Not a building, not a clinic, a massive virtual ecosystem where artificial intelligence learns medicine at inhuman speed. The system, called MedAgent Zero, creates AI doctors, nurses, and patients inside a simulation. These digital agents interact across more than 300 diseases, practicing diagnosis and treatment in endless loops. What takes human doctors years to encounter, AI doctors experience in days. Repetition builds expertise. Feedback sharpens accuracy. The learning never stops. Tyrax, at Tsinghua spin-off company, moved this from lab to reality. April 2025 marked the first real-world pilot at Beijing Tsinghua Chang'eng Hospital. AI doctors integrated directly into functioning departments: general practice, ophthalmology, radiology, respiratory medicine.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you a naturally curious person? If you're watching, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. This space is made for people like us. To ensure you're always part of this community and receive all our latest discoveries, you just need to do one thing: subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected with us. Okay, now that you're part of our Legion of the Curious, let's move on to the next item.
Number 9. Huawei Mate 60 Pro 5G chip breakthrough. August 2023. Huawei dropped a phone that shouldn't exist. The Mate 60 Pro went on sale in China with full 5G connectivity, despite US sanctions specifically designed to prevent exactly that capability. No announcement, no press conference, just suddenly available for purchase. Tech analysts tore the phone apart immediately, literally. Component-level teardowns revealed a 7-nanometer processor called the Kirin 9000S, manufactured by SMIC, China's leading semiconductor company. This chip shouldn't exist either. The machinery needed to produce 7-nanometer chips comes from ASML, a Dutch company that stopped selling to China under US pressure. Without those machines, conventional wisdom said China couldn't make advanced chips. Conventional wisdom was wrong. SMIC figured out how to produce 7-nanometer chips using older equipment through a process called multi-patterning. It's inefficient, expensive, and produces lower yields than the standard process, but it works. The Kirin 9000S performs comparably to chips from Qualcomm and MediaTek. Not quite as power efficient, but close enough that users don't notice the difference. The phone itself became a massive seller. Huawei moved millions of units in the first few months despite premium pricing. Chinese consumers bought them partly for the specs, partly as a statement. The phone represented technological independence, proof that sanctions couldn't stop China's tech industry. Lines formed outside Huawei stores.
Number 8. Wuhan Greenland Center Skyscraper, 636 meters. Look up in Wuhan, and you'll see something that shouldn't be physically possible. A building so tall it pierces low clouds. The Wuhan Greenland Center, still under construction, will reach 636 meters when completed, making it one of the tallest buildings on Earth. Only a handful of structures worldwide rise higher. The design looks like something from a sci-fi movie, a twisted, aerodynamic form that spirals upward, reducing wind resistance that becomes extreme at those heights. The shape isn't just aesthetic, it's engineering necessity. At 600 meters up, wind forces can destroy conventional rectangular towers. The twisted design channels wind around the building rather than resisting it head-on, reducing structural stress by nearly 25%. The foundation alone took 2 years to build. Massive concrete piers extend 80 meters underground, reaching bedrock that can support the building's weight. We're talking about a structure that'll weigh over 1 million tons when finished. All that mass needs solid anchoring, or the whole thing tips over. Engineers poured 300,000 cubic meters of concrete just for the foundation, enough to fill 120 Olympic swimming pools. The core uses a tube-within-a-tube design. An outer structural shell carries most of the building's weight, while an inner core houses elevators, stairs, and utilities. This design distributes loads efficiently and provides redundancy.
If one system fails, the other can temporarily support the building until repairs happen. Safety margins for super tall buildings exceed normal construction by factors of 3 or 4. These structures need to survive earthquakes, typhoons, fires, and terrorist attacks while fully occupied. Construction methods push technological limits. Concrete pumping at these heights requires specialized equipment. The pressure needed to push concrete 600 meters up would burst normal pipes. Custom pumping systems maintain steady flow rates, while concrete cured quickly enough to support the weight of additional floors poured above it. Each floor added weight to everything below, multiplying structural challenges as the building rose. The elevator system uses double-decker cars to move people efficiently. With over 120 floors, traditional elevators would waste too much space and time. Double-deckers serve 2 floors simultaneously, cutting the number of elevator shafts needed by nearly half. The fastest elevators travel at 10 meters per second, reaching the observation deck from ground level in about 1 minute. Smart systems throughout the building manage everything from air conditioning to lighting to security. Sensors monitor structural stress in real time, detecting any anomalies that might indicate problems. The building essentially monitors its own health, flagging issues before they become dangerous. This predictive maintenance approach prevents catastrophic failures and extends the structure's lifespan. The energy requirements are staggering. A building this size houses over 15,000 people daily when fully occupied. All of them need heating, cooling, lighting, water, elevators. Total power consumption matches a small town. To offset this, the design incorporates extensive sustainability features. Solar panels on the facade generate electricity. Rainwater collection systems reduce municipal water use. High-efficiency glass minimizes heat transfer, cutting cooling costs. But here's what really matters about the Wuhan Greenland Center.
Number 7. Tumai Microport Surgical Robot China. Here's something that'll make you uncomfortable. Right now, in hospitals across China, robots are cutting into human bodies with precision no surgeon's hand can match, and patients are lining up for it. The Da Vinci surgical system used to dominate this space, but Chinese companies just flipped the script. Microport's Tumai system costs half as much and does things Western robots can't. The setup looks like science fiction. Robotic arms extend over the operating table, each one holding tiny instruments that move in ways human wrists physically cannot. A surgeon sits at a console across the room, controlling everything through hand movements that get translated into micro-precise actions inside the patient's body. The robot filters out hand tremors completely. That coffee you had this morning that makes your hands shake slightly? Gone. The system only executes perfectly smooth movements. In 2024, Chinese hospitals performed over 50,000 robotic surgeries. That number doubled in 2025. The procedures cover everything from heart valve repairs to tumor removals to organ transplants. Success rates climbed while recovery times dropped. Patients who used to spend weeks in hospital now go home in days. The robots see better too. High-definition 3D cameras provide views inside the body that surgeons never had before. Magnification reaches 10x or more, turning millimeter-sized structures into clear targets. Depth perception stays perfect even when working in tiny spaces where human eyes would struggle. But here's where it gets wild. Newer Chinese systems add AI that doesn't just follow commands, it suggests moves. During complex procedures, the AI analyzes tissue in real time, identifies blood vessels, maps nerve pathways, and warns surgeons before they cut something critical. One system, developed by Shanghai Microport, flagged a hidden artery during a kidney removal that the surgical team hadn't spotted on pre-op scans. The AI saw it through subtle color variations invisible to human eyes. Training surgeons used to take a decade of practice. Now AI-powered simulators compress that timeline dramatically. Young doctors practice on virtual patients generated by AI, encountering rare complications and emergency scenarios without risking real lives. The simulators track every movement, providing instant feedback on technique. Doctors can repeat the same procedure hundreds of times until muscle memory forms. Some hospitals report cutting training time by 40% while producing surgeons with better skills than traditional methods delivered. Remote surgery became reality too. In 2024, a surgeon in Shanghai performed a successful operation on a patient in Xinjiang, over 5,000 kilometers away. The 5T connection had latency so low the doctor couldn't tell the robot wasn't in the same room. This capability matters massively for rural areas where specialist surgeons don't exist. A patient in a small-town hospital can now receive expert care from a top surgeon in Beijing without traveling. The technology keeps pushing boundaries. Some systems now perform portions of surgeries autonomously under supervision.
The robot handles routine steps like suturing or cauterization, while the surgeon focuses on complex decision-making. In testing, AI-assisted suturing proved faster and more consistent than manual work, with neater stitches that healed better. Orthopedic surgery saw huge gains. Robots now drill into bones with sub-millimeter accuracy for implant placement. Hip and knee replacements that used to have 5% revision rates due to poor positioning now achieve near-perfect placement every time. The robot plans the optimal angle, depth, and position based on CT scans, then executes with absolute precision. Eye surgery reached almost unbelievable levels of delicacy. Robots perform procedures on retinas and corneas where movements measured in microns determine success or failure. Human hands can't operate at that scale reliably. Robots can.
Number 6. T-Flight Maglev 965 km per hour, China. China develops a new generation of maglev trains designed to move at speeds once reserved for aircraft. At the center sits the T-Flight project, a prototype maglev train built to reach speeds up to 965 km per hour. At that pace, the line between rail travel and air travel disappears. Reaching such speeds requires overcoming fundamental physical limits. First solution: magnetic levitation. Powerful electromagnetic forces lift the train roughly 10 millimeters above the track, eliminating wheel friction. With no physical contact, the train stops losing energy to rolling resistance. But friction represents only part of the problem. At extreme speed, air resistance becomes the main barrier. To address this, the T-Flight system operates inside a low vacuum tube. By reducing air pressure inside the tube, engineers sharply cut drag, allowing the train to accelerate far beyond what's possible in open air. February 2024 moved these ideas from theory to proof. During a test run on a 2-kilometer track, the T-Flight prototype successfully levitated and accelerated to 623 kilometers per hour. The test confirmed both the maglev system and low vacuum environment work as intended. The next step scales up massively. Plans advance to build a 60-kilometer full-scale test line in Shanxi province with stated goal of breaking the 1,000 kilometers per hour barrier. While this work pushes speed limits, China also reinforces its lead in conventional high-speed rail. In a major milestone, Chinese experts chaired the committee that set the global standard for high-speed railway infrastructure design. That standard, now used worldwide, reflects China's real-world engineering experience. It includes designs for earthquake-resistant bridges and ultra-stable slab track systems, effectively making Chinese practice the global reference point for safety and reliability. Building projects of this size wouldn't be possible without changing how construction itself gets done. This is where artificial intelligence and robotics move from support tools to core infrastructure. Across rail projects, automation builds faster, reduces risk, cuts dependence on heavy manual labor. Companies like MechMind Robotics lead this shift. Their systems bring what's known as embodied intelligence onto construction and manufacturing sites. The process begins with vision. High-precision three-dimensional cameras scan complex scenes using laser projection, creating detailed models of objects and surfaces. These systems accurately read shiny metal, rough concrete, even transparent materials. The data moves to processing, where an AI model interprets what it sees. Unlike older robots following fixed scripts, this system understands spoken instructions. A supervisor gives a simple command, and AI plans how to complete the task step by step. Finally, the execution. Robotic arms and gripping tools perform physical work. On rail construction projects, this technology appears in several key areas. In manufacturing yards, AI-based inspection software performs 3D inspections of thousands of components, like railcar frames and track switches.
Number 5. Chang'an SL03, Arc Fox Alpha S, Level 3. December 2025. China crossed a regulatory line that changes transportation forever. The Ministry of Industry and Information Technology granted the country's first production permits for conditionally autonomous Level 3 vehicles. Self-driving cars got legal approval for limited public road use. 2 models received authorization: the Chang'an Shenlan SL03 and the Arc Fox Alpha S. The approval came wrapped in restrictions, reflecting cautious rollout strategy. The Chang'an model activates its automated system only on designated highways and urban expressways in Chongqing, only during traffic congestion, only at speeds below 50 km per hour.
The ArcFox model operates on selected Beijing highways with higher speed limits up to 80 kilometers per hour. Both cases require professional fleet operators and safety monitors on board initially. The goal centers on collecting real-world data while maintaining human oversight. This step addresses a state priority, reducing traffic accidents caused mainly by human error. As China's population ages and younger drivers decline in number, road safety becomes a growing public concern. Automation gets positioned as a stabilization tool, not a replacement for drivers overnight. Behind these approved models sits rapidly advancing vehicle intelligence. Many Chinese cars now integrate onboard AI systems handling perception, decision-making, driver interaction. Some vehicles include voice-based AI assistants, allowing drivers to issue spoken commands, navigate to a location, reposition the vehicle within limited range. These systems rely on high-performance computing hardware, including dual AI processors, plus dense sensor arrays comprising high-definition cameras, ultrasonic sensors, multiple radar units. Together, they enable lane changes, obstacle avoidance, traffic light recognition, automated parking, complex urban turns. Chinese automakers pushed vehicle mobility beyond conventional driving. Models like BYD's Yangwang U8 use 4 independent electric motors, allowing each wheel to move separately. This enables zero-radius turns, sideways movement into parking spaces, precise low-speed control in tight environments. The same platform allows limited water traversal, where the vehicle floats briefly and moves at low speed through deep floodwater, offering emergency escape rather than daily driving mode. Other manufacturers focused on extreme maneuverability in dense cities. Vehicles like IM Motors L6 use 4-wheel steering and independent motors to reduce turning radius and allow horizontal parking movements. Design reduces space required for parking and improves access in crowded urban areas. Similar systems appear in models like BYD Denza Z9 GT, which slides laterally into narrow parking spaces using controlled wheel rotation. High-performance electric platforms advanced rapidly too. BYD's Yangwang U9 supercar demonstrates how software-controlled suspension and motor systems deliver both speed and stability. Its suspension lifts individual wheels within milliseconds, allowing the car to adjust ride height, absorb uneven surfaces, maintain control under extreme conditions. These systems are production-ready and sold commercially, not limited to concept vehicles. A broad national ecosystem supports development. Technology firms like Huawei provide full driving system architectures used by multiple automakers. Baidu's Apollo program operates one of the world's largest robotaxi fleets, with millions of completed rides in cities including Wuhan and Shenzhen. Autonomous driving companies like Pony.ai, WeRide, and DeepRoute.ai focus on higher-level autonomy for both passenger transport and freight.
Number 4. National Smart Agriculture Action Plan, China. As China's population grows older and rural workforce steadily shrinks, the question becomes not how to farm better, but how to farm at all with fewer hands each year. Villages empty, skilled farmers age out. The risk clarifies. If production falls behind demand, food security becomes national vulnerability rather than economic inconvenience. For years, this slow decline built quietly in the background. Fields still produced crops, but the human system behind them thinned. Fewer young people returned to the land, fewer workers available for planting, spraying, harvesting. The old model built on labor and experience passed down over generations stopped being sustainable. In response, the state moved decisively. Between 2024 and 2028, China launched the National Smart Agriculture Action Plan, placing farming squarely at the center of long-term security strategy. Released by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, the plan formally commits the country to digital transformation of food production. Artificial intelligence, big data, connected sensors, no longer optional tools, they become the backbone of a new system designed to survive demographic decline. By 2028, the plan targets digital integration rate of more than 32% across agricultural production, signaling fundamental shift in how food gets grown. This strategy unfolds through a layered technology system that replaces guesswork with data. Low-cost soil sensors measure moisture and nutrients. Drones scan crops from above. Satellites track weather patterns and field conditions. All this information flows into centralized platforms, often described as agricultural brains. There, AI systems analyze data and issue clear instructions, removing the need for constant human oversight.
For farmers like Wang Huan in Jiangsu province, this change already exists. Instead of walking his peach orchard row by row, Wang deploys drones equipped with advanced cameras. AI scans images for early signs of pests or disease. If problem gets detected, another drone sprays only the affected area. Entire process takes about half an hour. By hand, same work would take 5 hours. The difference isn't convenience, it's survival. This precision extends to water and fertilizer. AI systems study soil data, plant growth, weather forecasts to decide exactly when and where resources are needed. This method, known as variable rate application, avoids waste and raises yields. Nothing gets applied blindly. Every input gets targeted. As these systems mature, their reach expands. AI tools now predict crop yields months before harvest, helping planners prepare storage, transport, pricing. After harvest, computer vision systems assess quality at speeds no human team can match. In one case, AI systems learn to judge durian ripeness with more than 90% accuracy, a task once based on experience and intuition alone. Produce then gets automatically sorted by size and quality, eliminating hours of manual labor. Food safety and trust also reshape. In a pilot project, AI combined with blockchain traced a box of mangoes from farm to shelf in just over 2 seconds. Before, same task could take nearly a week. In complex national market, speed matters. The transformation doesn't stop with crops. In livestock farming, cameras monitor animal behavior, flagging early signs of illness without human inspection. At the edge of the system, AI also shapes new food sources. Companies developing alternative proteins now rely on AI to guide fermentation processes and refine taste and texture. These tools shorten research timelines and reduce risk, turning long-term food security into an engineering problem rather than a gamble. However, this vision faces real obstacles. First challenge, cost. Complete drone and software setup can exceed 200,000 yuan, far beyond what most small farmers can afford. To solve this, a new model spreads. Agriculture technology as a service allows farmers to rent access to AI tools instead of buying them outright. Drone spraying, satellite analysis, data services get offered on demand, lowering the barrier to entry. Second challenge, people. In many villages, more than 70% of farmers exceed 50 years old. Fewer than 5% can use farm apps on their own. Without training, technology would sit unused.
Number 3. Brain-Computer Interface, Tianjin University, China. Chinese scientists just achieved something that sounds like telepathy. They built a system that translates brain activity into words, images, and commands without any speech or movement. You think it, the machine reads it. The technology, called Brain-Computer Interface, or BCI, plants tiny electrodes on your scalp, or in more advanced versions, directly on your brain. These sensors detect electrical patterns generated when neurons fire. AI algorithms decode these patterns, figuring out what you're thinking about or trying to do. Early versions were crude. Patients with paralysis could move a cursor on a screen by thinking about movement. Impressive but limited. The new Chinese systems go way further. In 2024, researchers at Tianjin University demonstrated a BCI that reconstructed images people were looking at based purely on brain activity. Subjects viewed photos while wearing electrode caps. The AI analyzed their brain signals and generated images matching what they saw with shocking accuracy. Faces, landscapes, objects, all recreated from thoughts alone. Another team at the University of Science and Technology of China pushed into language. Their system decoded speech from brain activity as people read silently or spoke in their minds. The AI translated neuropatterns into text with 90% accuracy. You could think a sentence, and it appeared on screen without moving your mouth or fingers. The implications stretch in multiple directions. For people with locked-in syndrome or severe paralysis, BCIs offer communication when nothing else works. Patients who can't move or speak can type by thought, control wheelchairs, operate robotic arms. One trial participant used a thought-controlled robotic hand to feed himself for the first time in years. His brain signals moved the robot with enough precision to pick up food and bring it to his mouth. Military applications interest the government heavily. Pilots controlling drones through thought. Soldiers communicating silently on battlefield. Commanders accessing information or issuing orders faster than speech allows. The People's Liberation Army funds significant BCI research aimed at creating thought-controlled weapon systems and enhanced soldier capabilities. Consumer applications are developing fast too.
Gaming companies test BCIs that let players control characters by thinking about movements instead of pressing buttons. Early adopters report the experience feels surreal, like the game reads your intentions before you act. Response times drop because thought travels faster than finger movements. Education researchers explore BCIs for measuring attention and understanding. Imagine a classroom where the teacher system monitors student brain activity, identifying who's confused, who's bored, who's understanding the material. The AI adjusts lesson pace and content in real time based on collective neurofeedback. Sounds helpful or dystopian depending on your perspective. The technology also enables direct brain-to-brain communication. In experiments, two people wearing BCI sent simple messages to each other through thought alone. One person thought about moving their hand. The signal transmitted to the second person's brain, causing their hand to move involuntarily. Primitive, but it proves the concept works. Marketing firms salivate over BCIs that measure genuine emotional responses to advertisements. Traditional focus groups rely on what people say they feel. Brain signals reveal what they actually feel, bypassing conscious filtering. Some Chinese companies already test ads using BCI data to optimize content for maximum emotional impact. Mental health applications show promise too.
Number 2. Unitree Go2 B2 Robot Dogs, China. The development of agile quadruped robots, commonly called robot dogs, became one of the clearest demonstrations of China's push towards autonomous, rugged robotics. Leading the pack, Unitree Robotics, whose platforms get engineered for sustained operation in demanding real-world environments rather than controlled labs. The Unitree Go2, for instance, integrates sophisticated four-dimensional LiDAR system capable of 360-degree by 90-degree hemispherical recognition with minimum detection range of just 5 centimeters. This enables the robot to perceive and navigate dense, unstructured terrain autonomously. With top speed of roughly 5 meters per second, ability to climb 40-degree inclines, and payload capacity up to 12 kilograms, the Go2 gets built for endurance, mobility, reliability. This physical design, low center of gravity, 4-point stability, ability to carry sensors or tools, determines where these machines prove most valuable. Quadruped robots excel in 3D roles, tasks that are dull, dirty, dangerous. These are precisely the jobs becoming hardest to fill as China's workforce shrinks and ages. China maintains enormous network of power plants, electrical substations, chemical facilities, pipelines, rail corridors, logistics hubs, all requiring continuous inspection and preventative maintenance. Traditionally, large teams of skilled technicians performed these physically demanding and often hazardous tasks. As working-age population contracts, sustaining this model becomes increasingly complex. Industrial-grade quadrupeds now bridge this gap, moving from experimental tools to structural solutions. The Unitree B2 represents perfect example of industrial-grade quadruped built for heavy-duty deployment. It carries payloads up to 30 kilograms for up to 90 minutes while navigating stairs, rubble, confined indoor spaces, uneven outdoor terrain. Equipped with LiDAR, high-definition cameras, optional thermal and acoustic sensors, it autonomously patrols facilities, scans for overheating components, detects abnormal machinery sounds, reads gauges, identifies leaks. At logistics hubs, it conducts 24/7 security rounds, inventory scans, perimeter inspections. These systems reorganize human expertise. Single technician can oversee entire fleet, intervening only when robots flag anomalies requiring judgment or repair. While quadrupeds address industrial inspection, a parallel track focuses on humanoid robots designed for human-centric environments. Demographics drive this development. Citizens aged 65 and older now account for roughly 15.
Number 1. Hangzhou City Brain AI Traffic. Walk through Shenzhen at rush hour and something feels different. Traffic lights change before congestion builds. Buses arrive exactly when crowds form. Street cleaning happens where it's needed, not on fixed schedules. The city isn't just running, it's thinking. China built over 500 smart cities in the last 5 years, but a few stand out as living laboratories where AI controls almost everything. Hangzhou leads the pack with City Brain, a system that processes data from millions of cameras, sensors, and connected devices in real time. The brain watches traffic flow across the entire city. When it spots congestion forming 3 kilometers away, it adjusts signal timing along connecting roads before drivers even notice the slowdown. Ambulances get green lights all the way to hospitals. The system cuts their response time by half. In some districts, CityBrain reduced traffic jams by 15% without building a single new road. The secret isn't more infrastructure, it's smarter use of what already exists. But traffic represents just the beginning. These urban brains manage water systems, predict where pipes will burst based on pressure changes and historical data. They monitor air quality block by block, activating ventilation systems in subway stations when pollution spikes. They track energy consumption across neighborhoods, shifting power loads to prevent blackouts during peak hours. Waste collection gets optimized too. Trucks no longer follow fixed routes. AI analyzes fill levels in smart trash bins across the city and generates dynamic routes that save fuel and time. In Chang'an, a city built from scratch as a testing ground for urban AI, every building connects to the central system. Temperature, lighting, security, everything gets managed by algorithms that learn occupant preferences. The city knows when you're home, adjusts heating before you arrive, dims lights when you sleep. Privacy concerns exist, but efficiency gains prove hard to ignore. Power consumption dropped 30% in pilot buildings. Emergency response improved dramatically too. When fires break out, the system instantly identifies the building, pulls up floor plans, locates hydrants, and routes firefighters while alerting nearby residents through their phones. What used to take minutes now happens in seconds. Some cities took this further into social infrastructure. Digital platforms now handle government services that once required hours waiting in line. Need a business license? Upload documents? AI checks them for errors, approves within hours. Dispute with a neighbor? AI mediators analyze cases, suggest solutions based on similar past resolutions. Courts in some regions use AI assistants that draft preliminary judgments for simple cases, freeing judges to focus on complex disputes. The systems aren't perfect.
Still curious? Then don't stop now. The next mystery is already waiting for you. Just click the video on screen. I saved it just for you. See you there, curious one.